Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator. Eating up all the food. All the chicken. All the pig feet. All the collard green. All the hog maws. I want to eat some of them chitlin. I love pig feet.
Don't get to laughing at my video or my edit, y'all, but I was really trying to think of how I was gonna put this message together, and I don't know why the movie Friday just popped in my head. And let me just say rest in peace to John Witherspoon. He played Craig's father in Friday. I gotta share with y'all my favorite scene from y'all remember when Craig's father was in the he was in his work truck. He hated his job, but I can't even get it out. My favorite scene was put some hot sauce on my burrito, baby. When I talk about Freeloaders, like, I don't know, yeah, but I thought back really on the movie. Like, I feel like everybody and their mama had seen the movie Friday, but for the ones that haven't seen the movie Friday, it's just gonna be a little bit of a spoiler alert. Craig was a grown man living with his parents. They wanted him to be more responsible and get on his own. They was getting tired of him freeloading and living off of them. And so I felt like this would be the perfect movie and message to use. Not be too serious, but situations like this are serious. And we're going to get into the seriousness later on in this video.
Hello, you are welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, what's good? If you are new, hey boo, I am back with another video. And y'all see the title. Now, this is going to be me piggybacking off of a video that I did, I think it was about 2 years ago, where I said don't let people live with you. And I kind of want to do a follow-up video with this, but it's going to be a little different. I'm going to need all of my kind hearts to tap into this. If you clicked on this video,
I'm assuming that
you got somebody that's either living with you or they're trying to live with you. They're trying to freeload, and this is what this video is about. If you are a kind person, then 9 times out of 10 you've had plenty of people come to you in a state of need. Now, before we even get into this message, let me just say it's a difference between someone needing help and someone just wanting to freeload. We are going to really break this thing down, because by the end of this video, you are going to come to the realization that you just need to stop helping people so much. You know how you just get that feeling, you start to feel bad for others, or they may try to guilt trip you or something and say that, oh, they may not have anywhere else to go, or they may not have this, they may not have that, and they need some help, they need some resources, and you always seem to be the person that's stepping in to aid and assist this person. Now, keep in mind that if this person is not a child that you are raising, then it really shouldn't be no excuse as to why they can't get up off of their tail and do whatever they got to do for themselves. Now, if this person is disabled, then of course they may need some assistance, okay? But it is a difference between a person being helpless and a person freeloading. I'm going to tell you the best way that I feel like you should deal with this situation dealing with freeloaders.
don't deal with them at all. And we're going to get into why.
Because people like this are always the ones that burn bridges with a lot of people. They're always in a situation to where they just on the bad end of life. It just like, and we're going to get into this whole, because this is spiritual, okay? This is going to be a spiritual message as well, and life advice. Because it's something about being around people that freeload. They don't have anything going on in their lives. A lot of times, they're not productive. They're not motivated to get out here and get it on their own, and they're just looking for someone to kind of pay their way through life. That's selfish, and I don't like stuff like that. You shouldn't want to surround yourself with people that carry on like that. They have that sort of mindset, because if you are a grown, able-bodied adult, there's no way in this world you should be out here looking for people to do everything for you. They're not a child. It's not your responsibility to take care of them. It doesn't matter whether this is a friend, a family member, any situation. People with older kids is past a certain age. This goes for them as well. You're going to use different analogies on how to spot a freeloader. Do not let your home become a resting place for freeloaders. Don't be the go-to person for everybody. If these people are not the ones that you can go to when you need something, but you are always their go-to,
then that's a problem.
Now, I'm gonna give a spiritual reason for why you should distance yourself from freeloaders. Another thing about freeloaders is that they can be manipulative. They play off of sympathy. They play off of people's emotions. The fact that they are a caring, kind person. They're just sweethearted. They're giving. And freeloaders feed off of that type of stuff. You know, they feed off of your kind-hearted nature and your willingness to help them. And they're draining your energy back doing this, okay? They always seem to be an inconvenience for you. Something is going on in your life and they're just kind of draining and sucking up whatever it is that you have. And whenever it comes to a freeloader, it's never a situation to where they just need some assistance right at that moment and you never hear or see them again. This is not that situation. A freeloader will always need something. This ain't gonna be the first and the last time that they hitting you up or they dropping by your house to see what it is that they can get from you. You can be a kind person, you can be a caring person without being naive. I'm just say it that way because sometimes we can let our kind heart get in the way of our logical thinking. It can blind us to what people's true intentions behind why they do certain things. Like you are basically handicapping this person and you're not letting this person do what it is that they need to do on their own. If they grown, there's no way in this world they should be coming to you for anything unless they are really in dire need. I feel like being around people that are freeloaders, it's something about being around people that don't really have nothing going on to where that energy kind of rub off on you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You ever been around people that are always down on their luck? You know what I'm saying? And let me just say this. I feel like a lot of us have been through hard times. But there's no way you should be stuck in that same place. You should be able to evolve and grow past your situation, your financial burdens, whatever may be going on in your life. If you stay stuck in that energy, this whole feeling sorry for yourself, wanting others to feel sorry for you so that they can help you out, that's not going to get you far anywhere. It's nobody's obligation to wait on you hand and foot through life. That is your responsibility. And I don't know why it just jumped out at me like people, they got grown kids living at home with them. They don't want to get out and do nothing. They waiting for mama and daddy to do everything for them. This message may apply to the parents that have grown-ups living at home with them. But you are their parent. You were put in their life to raise them. This is what it comes to clipping their wings, okay? They can't stay with you forever. You can't breastfeed or pacify or feed them their entire life. And I've seen a couple of situations like this to where grown-ups live at home with their parents, and it's just kind of like they give off this whole energy as if they are still a child. And when I say a child, I mean like a baby. If you don't teach your kids responsibilities, getting out on their own, doing their own thing, they'll never learn. They will always be freeloading off of you or other people. I really do not feel like it's healthy parenting to enable your grown children. Okay, your grown children shouldn't be staying with you unless it's something wrong with them and they handicapped or something like that. But you got to clip their wings and let them fly off on their own. But we're just going to get into another situation. Like, this may be a friend or a family member that you just notice that they always seem to be down on their luck. If this is the one thing that you might have found frustrating about freeloaders, is that they will either not have anything, or if they do have something, they're stingy with it, or they're greedy hearted. Okay, that's the one thing about freeloaders that you will notice. They're greedy hearted people. Okay, y'all know we come and talk about the Lord a lot on this channel, and greed is a sin. Okay, Don't surround yourself with people that they're stingy to you and to themselves, but they always got their hand out asking you for something. They're there to take. Now you may offer it to this person, but if they always seem to be just taking and taking from you, and they're never able to like really give you anything back, or if they do give you something, it's a little pinch or a crumb of it, like they're not reciprocating in the same way. Okay. And I'm going to use an example. Say, for instance, you might have offered them some money, okay, because they might have needed to pay a bill, or they just needed it for something. You gave it to them, but then you need help with something, or you need something minor. And see, this is the one thing I have noticed about freeloaders too. You got to test people like this just to see where they care to add. All of that. This is going to tell you a lot about people like this and how to deal. Okay? Ask this person for a small favor. They're going to be really hesitant. You ain't hesitate not one time helping this person out. And that's the thing about freeloaders. They have no qualms. And they're very bold when it comes to asking for what they want. But then when you ask for a small favor, they can't do it. Or they're going to be stingy with it. They're going to give you $3 or $4 for something, and they're going to be even hesitant to give you them $3 or $4, but you just gave them, I don't know, we just going to pick a ballpark number. You gave them $100, or you may gave them $50. Okay? But when you ask, can you pay for this gum? I left my debit card in the car, and they don't feel like going out to the car to get, can you pay for this for me? They looking at you hesitant, as if they don't even want to pay for the gum for you. And he was just looking like, are you serious? You staying in my house, you eating up my food. You done put a dent in my couch. And for the ones that had people live with them before, you know what I mean. Freeloaders are couch potatoes. They will sit all day in the same spot. They done burnt the hole through your couch. They probably ran up your electricity and your internet bill if you got Wi-Fi. You taking advantage. But I can't get $3 or $4 for you for a piece of bubble gum. That type of hesitant, that type of energy that freeloaders give, they are hesitant to do anything for you. They can't reciprocate the same energy that you give to them when they asking you for something. That's gonna show you this person's character. Do not surround yourself with freeloaders. Okay, they're gonna use you up. They're gonna drain you dry, and you are gonna be the one that's gonna end up being upset and angry in the end. Whenever it's a situation to where somebody need a place to stay, or they need some help with something, the answer is no. Not answering my phone, I'm not answering my door. You're gonna have to figure this out on your own, like you are an adult, okay? And that's the thing. Learning how to say no. Learn how to tell people no. And stand on your no. That's the thing. Stand on your no. Sometimes you got to be firm with certain people. Freeloaders, you have to be firm and direct with them. You can't beat around the bush. You can't talk in circles. You got to keep it straight up with them and be like, no, I'm sorry. You're going to have to figure it out. I can't help you. I don't have it. You're going to have to find somewhere else to stay. Just stuff like that. You got to be real direct with them, because if you talk in circles, they're going to try to get over on you. They're going to try to play a manipulative game with you because they see that you really don't want to say no. It's a difference between being kind and nice. Now, you may just be extremely nice, and you may be afraid to tell this person no, but telling them no, it's going to save you the burden. Know your difference between being a kind person and just being too nice. If you are too nice, this person is going to take advantage of you. People know when you don't want to really help them, but you just saying it because you don't want to upset them and you don't want to look like the bad person. You don't want to look like that person is turning a helpless person away. This person is in need. They need food. They need shelter. And you don't want to be that person that turn them away. But you got to keep it real with people like this, freeloaders specifically. Okay, we're going to get into a deeper meaning behind why you should keep your distance away from people like this. If you are being too nice to this person, it's going to come a situation to where it's going to blow up in your face. And you are going to be made out to be the villain in the end. And this entire situation could have been avoided if you had just said no right from the jump. You know how you feed that stray cat or that stray dog and they just keep steady coming back to your door? At some point, you're going to have to stop leaving food out for this stray cat or this dog. They're going to keep steady coming to your door if you keep feeding them, okay? So that's how it is with a freeloader. You got to stop leaving food out. You got to learn how to say no and stand on your no. Freeloaders are the type of people that you have to learn how to love from a distance, because 9 times out of 10, these situations always seem to happen with family. Okay, happen with friends, but it's more so family than anything. You got to love freeloading family members from a distance, because anytime you get around them, it's always going to be a favor that they need from you. Always. It never fails. And don't feel bad about it. And that's the key takeaway why I wanted to make this video. Don't feel bad about telling people no. Okay? Because they're not going to feel bad about freeloading off of you. They're not going to feel bad about inconveniencing you. Okay? If you do something for this person, 9 times out of 10, they know that it's an inconvenience for you. They don't care about that. So why do you care about saying no to them? They can be mad, upset, all they want. They can go talk about you to other people and say how you said no to them. You don't care about them. They can go and say whatever it is that they want. Because, see, this is the thing about being too nice, is that you don't want to look like the bad guy to other people if you turn this person away. You let that person be out on the street. Oh, you didn't feed this person when you see that they was hungry. Okay, they're grown. It's not your responsibility. They're not a child. And that's the one manipulative thing freeloaders will do. They carry throughout their life with this whole woe is me, guilt trip kind of energy. Stay away from people like that, okay? This is one person that you help a time or two and you keep it moving. You literally don't answer the phone for this person. Don't answer the door for this person. Let them figure out their own issues, okay? And so we're going to get into the spiritual meaning behind why you should stay away from freeloaders. It even speaks about this in the Bible. If a man does not work, he does not eat. A lot of times when you get to feeling sorry for people, you got to understand that that's their fault. That's their situation. They chose not to work. They chose not to do this and do that, to stand on their own 2 feet. Okay, so they basically suffering in a sense. We got to correlate this with the Lord. It's always going to be a correlation behind this person's unfortunate situation, because a lot of times these people bring these situations on themselves. You can't fault yourself for their mistakes. And it's another thing too I want to bring you to this message, because I haven't really spoke too much about this sin on this channel, but sloth, that's one of the 7 deadly sins as well. Unproductivity, unmotivation, there's a suffering that comes behind that. A lot of people overlook certain sins because it's not really blatant. It's not like lust. It's not like envy, wrath, or it's, you know, people don't really mention sloth too much, but being a lazy, unproductive person, it's consequences behind that. And the Lord speaks about that as well in the Bible. So don't you get to feeling sorry for this person or lending out a quote unquote helping hand to this person, and you feeling all type of guilt, because the Lord will punish you behind not having better discernment. Knowing people's motives, being able to read their spirit, having a slothful spirit, that's a sin as well that is often overlooked, because there's a lot of people out here that they feel bad for people. They really want to lend a helping hand, but you got to be wise and have discernment when it comes to who you choose to help. Everybody does not deserve your helping hand, because they're going to take advantage of you.
And we are going to dig a little deeper with this. How is it spiritual? Why you shouldn't share your energy with a freeloader and how it affects you spiritually.
Being around unproductive, unmotivated people that don't have much, you're going to find yourself slowly but surely starting to lose out on things, keeping these type of people around you, because of that energy. Y'all know we talk about energy transfers on this channel. When you are around a freeloader, that energy is going to transfer over to you. You don't want that kind of energy.
And when I mean that is, I don't mean you going to become a freeloader by being around them. What I mean is you are going to find yourself in a lack of something, sharing your company and your energy with people like this, because freeloaders are a lot of times unaware that they are a energy vampire. They will suck and drain your energy, your resources. They are unaware of this, or sometimes they are. But if you are constantly pouring and giving to people, it's always going to be some situation to where you're going to end up looking foolish in the end. You're going to be in debt. It's going to be so much lack. And you're going to be sitting up looking like, where did this come from? Like, how did I get in this situation? It was because you was around this freeloader. And you are the total opposite. You a go-getter. You ambitious minded.
You go do what you got to do to make it happy. You ain't expecting nobody to pay your way through life. You get to come around the person that's the total opposite of what you are. You're going to slowly but surely see that their energy has transferred over to you. You may start to notice that you are losing out on certain things. Certain things are not coming to you. It's that energy. So you want to stay away from people like that. People got to figure out their own way. It is not your responsibility. Keep saying it to yourself. People that's listening in on my channel, I know that you have a huge heart. You have a caring, sweet spirit. And it is hard for you to accept the fact that people they don't need your help. A lot of these people, they do not need your help. They just want someone to do something for them, and they don't want to do it for themselves. They want to freeload off of you. They want to keep whatever it is that they have and take whatever is yours. I don't know one freeloader that I've ever met to where they wasn't either selfish or greedy-hearted or stingy. So keep remembering that it is not your responsibility. And this is another thing too, why I feel like you should be straight up and honest with people like this. Because in a weird way, you are going to gain their respect by keeping it real with them and letting them know, listen, this is my first and last time helping you. After today, you got to figure it out. I'm going to help you this one time. After this, it's out. I don't got nothing for you. Or if you are a firm person, just say no right away, regardless of how they may feel about you saying no. You're not going to guilt trip me into giving you something. This is my life's motto. We all got 24 hours to make it happen in our life. I'm not sitting up making no excuses, and you shouldn't either. Everybody got 24 hours to make it happen in their life. You know what it is that you need to do to get to where you want to be. Okay? And these freeloaders, they try to act as though they really just helpless and in need, and they don't really got nobody, and nobody can help them. They got the strength enough to ask you for some money or for some help, but they ain't got the motivation to get out there and get it on their own. Come on now. That's game right there. That's manipulation. Okay? Like I said, you are going to end up walking away from the situation feeling drained. A lot of times you are going to feel frustrated and angry because you feel like this person tried to play a man game with you because they came to you with this helpless, hopeless kind of energy, and you really feel bad for them when the whole time they was playing a game with you. They was trying to use you and freeload off of you. Okay? So, I don't know why I just thought about this, why this just jumped out at me. This can apply to a relationship as well. Y'all got a man or a woman that's freeloading off of y'all. This person ain't in love with you. They don't want no real relationship with you. They just need a place to stay. And that's going to be too real for a lot of y'all to hear, because a lot of y'all just got people staying with y'all because they don't got nowhere else to go. Okay? So yeah, I don't know why that just jumped out at me, like relationships. I don't know why I didn't include that, but don't let no man or no woman come live with you. I really do feel like every grown person past a certain age should be living on their own. They shouldn't be dependent on nobody else. No roommates, none of that type of stuff. If this was a situation to where they were in college and they had roommates, then that's completely different. But the goal should be for you to branch off and get your own. That's disrupting your peace right there when someone is coming and freeloading. They'll try to do it in so many different ways. See, a freeloader, 9 times out of 10, it was always a situation to where you didn't notice that they was a freeloader until after the fact, okay? You might have had other people point this out to you, or you might have slowly but surely realized, like, wait a minute. Nah, I can't do that for you. No. Right? Don't get yourself to a point to where you turn into a mean person. Because a lot of times that do happen to where you help people and your patience has ran thin with them. and you turn into a rude person. You know, that is not part of your character, but they have turned you into this person because you see through what they're doing. And that's the frustrating part about it. And that's what angers you, is that they're trying to play a man game with you. And that's what freeloaders will do. They will take and take and take and take and take all they can take. And you are going to be left feeling empty. Okay? 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna have no strong relationship with this person no more. Y'all gonna end up not probably talking. You done did this and did that for them, all for it to be a situation to where you're not speaking to the person no more. Okay, let it be that. Let people be angry. Let people be upset. Let them go talk about you to other people and talk about what you ain't do for them. Let them go boo-hoo and cry and guilt trip someone else and freeload off of someone else. Do not let your home become a resting place for freeloaders. It is not your responsibility. Learn how to say no and stand on your no.
And this is another thing too I want y'all to keep in mind about freeloaders. When it comes to manipulation, they might have helped you with something. You can count on one hand how many times they have done something for you, a small little favor. A freeloader is not gonna do anything for you unless it's something in it for them. Okay, this is their way in. That's their bait for them to ask for a huge favor. Okay, so a freeloader will hang over your head a small favor that they did for you how many years ago. Let's just say this freeloader may try to guilt trip you or manipulate you. I've seen this plenty of times. And this is for the people with the kind hearts. But it's a difference between being kind and nice. You may be just being too nice and you don't want to play into this game. They might have said something along the lines of, oh, well, you never asked me for nothing. I can't read your man. One thing all freeloaders have in common, something that they have a lot of, is the audacity. They have the audacity to think that they can leech off of you, live off of you, and not contribute anything. And this is another thing too I want y'all to keep in mind. Just because you made a payment arrangement and they said they would pay it, that don't mean they're actually going to do it. If this person really needs a place to stay and they're in a desperate situation, they will say anything they can to get in the door. If you are living with a person, it should be common knowledge that you should be pitching in and helping out with something. If a person decides to let you come stay with them for however long, you're going to be using their restroom, sleeping in their room, eating their food. That's resources. That's money. I do suggest that you should let a person know, like, okay, if you're going to be staying here for this long, then I need this. I'm not going to just let you be a couch potato in my home. You got something to offer? You got to let freeloader know, because whatever it is that you are offering them, they're going to just take it and take it and take it. Okay? They're not going to really have any consideration for the fact that they are inconveniencing you. So they're going to say something like that. You didn't ask me for the money. But they don't want to do it. They want to freeload. They don't want to have to give you anything. So if you don't ask, that's basically going to be on you. Okay? You are going to be the one that's going to end up feeling like you have been used. When you don't ask a person up front for money, they staying in your house and eating up your food and using your toilet and your shower, whatever it is, sleeping on your couch, sleeping in a room, wherever, they need to be pitching in financially in some type of way. When it's all said and done, all they going to turn around and say is, oh, well, shit, he didn't ask for no money. I can't read they man. And here's my whole take with that. Nobody should have to ask you for money for you staying with them. You're supposed to offer that up front. If you bold enough to ask for a place to stay, then you should be bold enough to offer some money to contribute to the household. Nobody should have to ask you for nothing. And this is where character comes into play. Selfishness, greediness. A person that has consideration, a person that is not trying to freeload, they're going to offer without you having to ask. They know that they're supposed to be helping out financially if they staying in your house. They basically telling you without telling you that, oh, well, you let me freeload, so that's pretty much on you. A person is only going to do what you allow. If you keep allowing this person to freeload off of you and stay there rent free and not ask for nothing, you sit up thinking, oh, well, maybe they'll offer it. They're not going to offer it. They're a freeloader. Okay? Period, point blank. So be upfront with this person. This is my thing about dealing with freeloaders. Do not deal with these people at all. These are the type of people that you got to not answer the phone for or your door for. They're going to be inconveniencing you in any type of way. These are the type of people that you don't even want to take their money. You don't want nothing from them. You keep your money, whatever it is that you get. I don't want it, because it's still going to be a burden on you, whether they're giving you money or not. In a way, it's still kind of like freeloading. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Stop feeling guilty for turning people away, because at the end of the day, this person is a grown adult. And so that's just how I'm going to end it. So hopefully I got something from this video. Hopefully it helped you in some way. Continue to protect y'all soul and spirit. And I will talk to y'all in the next video.